I am pleased to be joined this time by Coach Nash, the new head coach at Chattahoochee County. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, and thank you for what you do, man. Thank you for what you do for Georgia high school football. I'm a Georgia kid, Georgia native, and what you do has never been done before, and it is awesome.
I appreciate it, Coach. It really does mean a lot. And, you guys, it's guys like you that I don't know if I should say it or not, but I actually enjoy covering the most and talking about it because I feel like guys, you've been in some tough spots. You've made the most out of what you've had, and I always enjoy following it. But I'll tell you what I really like this year. You took the job at Chattahoochee County. Um, and you put out there that you were resigning at Dunwoody. And man, a lot of people came out and told you how good a job you did, didn't they? And I could even tell on even just through social media stuff that it meant a lot to you. Just a lot of people I think felt how I felt. And so that made me happy. What do you got? Before I even ask you anything else, let me ask you about that.
Coach, I'll be honest, man. I ain't cried as much in the last 30 years of my life as I have the last 3 months. Just leaving Dunwoody's going to be hard, and they've been good to me. I
Mm.
mean, I get to go back and be the grand marshal of the Dunwoody Fourth of July parade, which is the largest Fourth of July parade in the southeastern United States. And I
Yep.
told them when they asked me to do it, I'm like, guys, you don't do this for somebody leaving. You do it for somebody coming. And they were just gracious and just good people. And Dunwoody's been good to me. And I didn't think I'd ever leave there. I thought I'd retire there. I thought I'd stay there 30 years and retire. Um, but things happen, life happens, your family happens, and it was and it was just time. And I just got to be honest, man. It is such a good place, and I tell people that all the time, and I tell them that they're like, "Well, why are you leaving?" And I'm, it's hard to explain, but it's a good place, man. And it ain't all about winning championships and winning football games and all that stuff. But man, it's good people. It's good people, and that's what you try to surround yourself with your whole life. And if you ever figure that out, if you ever figure out how to surround yourself with good people, then you're gonna have a good life. And they did a great job of accepting me, my family, and raising my daughters. And I, like I said, man, I don't know any other way to put it to answer that question than that. It's Dunwoody's a good place, man. It's a good place, and I'll May 30th will be my last day in Dunwoody. That'll be the day that the last U-Haul pulls out, as Lamb says, that'll be the day two men in a truck show up, and and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be at that last faculty meeting that day so that I can see all the people at Dunwoody because I love them and they love me, and I think that's a word we don't use enough in this business anymore, but we love each other and we care about each other and we want each other to be better, and that's something that's, like I said, at Dunwoody, that ain't gonna change, Coach. That's never gonna change. I don't care who the coach is. I don't care who the principal is. I don't care who the people are. That ain't never gonna change. It's a good place.
Yeah. And coach, I think, people value uh, when you reach that ceiling and you maximize potential. And I just thought you guys did that. And I was excited. I think in the school community, people typically do show you they appreciate you if you did a good job. But I was excited to see people even outside the school acknowledging, the job you got, the coaches you coached against over the years, people like that. It just was great to see. So what attracted you to specifically Chattahoochee County? What makes this a great place?
Coach, this is a God thing. I don't know any other way to put it. And I believe in God and I believe in Jesus Christ and He's my Savior. But I'm not an overly religious man. I'm not gonna lie about it. And I wish I was. I wish I was a better Christian. But I applied for this job last year, and I applied for the Chattahoochee County job last year. I didn't get it. I finished second, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. I think that's part of what happened. And my son-in-law, who is also my offensive line coach, so we got some nepotism going on. But I tell people all the time, man, how do you know somebody's an incredible human being? Number one, if you are approving of a man marrying your daughter, I don't know of a better um, accreditation than that.
Right.
And then number two is if you approve of him being your offensive line coach. I don't think there's two better stamps of approval on that ever.
Coach, that's a
And
line right there. That
I
might
mean,
take us off. Yeah,
are you kidding me? Like I wanted that guy to marry my daughter, and I wanted him to coach my offensive line, and I'm an offensive line coach at heart. Like I don't think there's a
there's a
better
lot
human
of trust
than that.
there. A lot of
But
trust.
anyway, Kedrick came to me last year. His name's Kedrick Harvey. He went to Chattahoochee County High School. He's from Casita, Georgia. And most people don't know where Casita, Georgia is. I did not know until I met Kedrick. Because I got news for you. It might be the smallest place in the history of the world. We got two gas and goes, a marathon, and a Dollar General and a Dollar Tree, and they share a building. And that is the extent of the Chamber of Commerce. It is small.
Coach, hold on before we go. Did you say the Dollar Tree and the Dollar General share a building?
They share a building to save rent. And then we also got this other place, Coach, that I ain't figured out yet. And I'll never say it, but it's called 24/7 Corn. And you can pull up and they'll dump corn in the back of your truck, or you can pull up and you can unload corn from the back of your truck. I ain't figured that one out yet, but I promise you, we're gonna find a way to do a sponsorship with that.
Yeah, there's a sponsorship opportunity in the Dollar Tree and
Yeah,
Dollar General sharing that
absolutely.
building. That ought to give them a little money to put a sign on the field or
There,
something.
there, there, there's no question. But anyway, Kedrick came to me last year and said that he wanted to move back home. He wanted to move to Casita. He wanted to be near his mom. And man, I'm telling you, I love this kid. He's an incredible kid, and he's an incredible human being, and he's a kid magnet. Like I mean, I've never been around anybody like him in my life. And so we were going to do it, and I applied for the job, and somewhere between the first set of interviews and the last set of interviews, his mother passed away. She died of a tragic deal. Like it was not expected. And Kedrick came back to me and said, "Coach, I don't think I want to go back there. I just there's nothing left for me there if my mama's not there." And it broke my heart. And honestly, just me being me, I'm like, man, are you kidding me? Like I'm in the middle of this thing. I didn't want to leave Dunwoody, but I also don't want to be away from my daughter and you. And so I kind of sabotaged myself in that whole interview process. And I didn't get the job. And it is what it is. And like I said, it's a God thing. Things worked out. And in the meantime, Coach, and I'm getting back to where you were asking me. I know listen, I always say I don't like to talk, but Coach, I talk. It is what it is. I'm a mom. I'm a mama's son. Um, so around November, my grandbaby was born, my first grandbaby. And I wish I had it on here. I wish I was better at technology and I showed you a picture of her. And November, Kedrick comes to me and says, or no, excuse me, November she was born. December, Kedrick comes back to me and says, Coach, I'm just going to tell you, like, and Coach, let me preface this with this. My daughter and my son-in-law and my grandbaby live in a one-bedroom, one-bath apartment in my basement, so I get to see my grandbaby every day. And he came back to me and said, Coach, I need to get back to Casita. I need to be near my dad. My dad's by himself. And I was like, God dang, man, like you're hitting me with this again. And so I started looking around, Coach. I started calling Lower Chapoka, and I started calling Alabama schools, and I started calling Columbus schools, and I was just going to go be an offensive line coach because I just wanted to be down there near my grandbaby because now they've got a grandbaby on the way. November, my grandbaby's born, and there's no way I'm living away from her. And then in January, coach, the superintendent of schools at Chattahoochee County picked up the phone and called me. And I didn't even know the job was open. And she called me and we got to talking. And she's a wonderful human being. I love her. She's awesome. And we got to talking and lo and behold, like I said, it just it just all came together. And I look at it now and I go back to it and I go, man, this is a God thing. God put me here and this place needed somebody and I was here and I get to live near my grandbaby because I get to see her. I saw her today, and it just changed everything, coach. Just changed everything. Changed my. I don't care what anybody says. When you have kids, it changes your life. When you have grandbabies, it changes everything.
That's right, Coach. So you get the job. That's a great story, by the way. Thank you for that. You get the job, and I can be honest with you, Coach. I'd never been there either, but it doesn't take a brain surgeon to look and say the place they need a little stability. So what you're looking for, you got five coach. You're the fifth coach in 5 years.
Because I'm the seventh and 8 years, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. And but it's a good. I mean, I've had several people tell me it's a good place. So what's got to happen first? What's really? I mean, obviously you got to build some stability. So what's going through your head when you're thinking, what do I got to do here to be successful?
You know what, Coach? I'm probably going to tell you something that nobody else tells you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think every job is different.
Mm-hmm.
When I took the job at Dunwoody, I had to look at it and say, this is what we need to do. I need to hire a bunch of young guys. I need to get kids out. I need to do this. I need to do this. Coach, this place is different. No, I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I tell people all the time. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a liar, and I'm gonna tell the truth. And it may make people mad. This place is a little messy, but I think it's a diamond in the rough, man.
Yeah.
I really do. The people here are incredible, incredible. But it's different from anything I've ever been around. It's so weird. I mean, and I don't know any other way to put it than it's just so weird.
Well,
We got half our kids are Casita kids,
mm-hmm.
which again, I never heard of Casita, Georgia in my life. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. And 90% of Chattahoochee County lives below the poverty level.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have Fort Benning.
Mm-hmm.
Or Fort Moore or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what everybody calls it these days, but you have half base kids, you have half Casita kids, and there's a divide there that I'm trying to figure out how to broach and try to bring together. But then on the other side is man, this community is bruised, Coach. Mm-hmm. It's broken.
Yeah.
And I don't. Again, I don't want to make it sound bad, but it's almost like a battered woman syndrome. They've had 7 coaches in 8 years. Nobody stuck with them, or they've been fired. Mm-hmm. And I told them the first day I got there, guys, I know you can't trust me. I know you're not going to trust me, and you can't trust me. All I'm going to ask you to do is give me a chance to earn your trust. And look at my record. I don't leave. I stay. And I'm gonna go through this if they'll let me. You know the deal. I may join. I may be the newest member of the Fired Football Coaches Association. I don't know. But if they'll let me, I'm gonna stay and we're gonna build this and we're gonna do something special and we're gonna build this thing. But I mean, you look at these teenage boys, man. Every one of these kids I got right now, I'm the 4th head coach they've had.
Mm-hmm.
They had nobody stay with them. And here, because there's nobody on the staff left. Well, it's all new.
I'll tell you this, Coach, and not that you need my advice, and I hadn't been there. But when you don't know, first off, that's astute not to know because usually people don't know. But when you don't know, the thing you do is take care of the locker room. The thing you do is take care of the kids. Like, just be there for them, care about them, even if they're not. Sometimes people got to trust you. You got to trust them first before they trust you. So you're going to have to
Right.
trust those kids before those kids trust you, right? So you're gonna need to talk about X's and O's. You're gonna talk about helmets and shoulder pads, but you're gonna need to put at the forefront taking care of kids, right? I mean, but I'll tell you that there's no better reward than that paying off. So if you can get to that point where years down the road, you do have that trust that was so hard to get. That'll be
Coach, we're
that'll be the
not,
best accomplishment you've had.
and I've had this conversation with a few kids. They're mad at me now because we're not doing football, and I'm like, guys, we're not going to do football. I don't care about football right now. We got to find a way to love each other and care about each other, and I need you guys to understand we're gonna take care of each other, and I mean that's what we're doing. I mean it's, and listen, Coach, I'm very I don't know any other way to put it than I'm very anal about this stuff. So when you asked me to be on this podcast, I went back and re-listened to every podcast you've done over the last 2 years.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Because I wanted to know. Well, Coach, my goal in the last year has just been listening to stuff and try to learn from people. And the guy at Perry and Kenny Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. Kevin, great guy.
Coach, I got to meet that guy one day. He is incredible, and I have learned so much from him just from listening to your podcast and Chris Lamb's podcast, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. I'm thinking through those things, and that's what we're going to do. And you know what, man? I'll be honest with you. You know from watching football, I'm an air raid spread guy. Mm-hmm. Coach, I'm gonna run the wing team next year.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Because when I look at the kids we got, that's what we got, and I'm not gonna worry about it. And we're going, as Kevin says, we're gonna win the locker room on Wednesdays, man. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And you know what? If anybody wants to get rid of me, get rid of me. I don't care. It is what it is, and I think this can be a very, very, very special. Because I'll tell you a story happened to me today. Because again, I'm not from here, and I don't know anything about anything, and I'm living in Auburn, Alabama. Because truth be told, my wife wanted to live in Auburn, Alabama for the last couple of years, and I kind of told her, all right, well, we did what I wanted to do the last 26 years. We're going to do what you want to do for the next 26. And my daughter's at Auburn, my sister and my brother-in-law are in Auburn. And so I'm living there and driving to ChattCo, and it's about an hour. And we're kind of trying to find a place to live out there because there's no land. Fort Benning owns 70% of land, so you can't find land. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to do. And I've been listening to podcasts every morning. I just listen to yours and Lamb's and everybody else. So I've been listening to John Gordon's books. I've been, and so I'm like, that's what we're going to do. Again, the kids get mad at me, but this is what we're going to do, man. We're going to build this thing from the ground up.
And I know you will, Coach, because
that's what it's going to be.
That is what leads to the other things.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't coach football anymore, like me, it's a lot easier to recognize this, but we spent so much time worrying about stuff that didn't matter, and so much time worrying about getting these kids to execute the offense in March or whenever, that it didn't matter. Like when we got to October, nobody remembered any of that stuff anyway, and we were fine. So, I mean, I really think that's astute of you to do. Well, Coach, let me ask you this question. What's different? I know what's different is everything, so you can say that. But you've been one of the bigger – you're Metro Atlanta, right? Big county. Dunwoody's not a huge school, but the district is a big district.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in a little district, right? I mean, you're playing in the smallest.
Oh, my God, Coach.
What's been the, bigger differences you're thinking that you're having to overcome maybe on or off the field, just in the change of that 6A or that Division II, single A Division II level versus playing up in the higher levels, which you had done?
I love, man. For years, I wanted to, I grew up in Georgia. I grew up in Gwinnett County. I went to Shiloh High School. Um, but I always had this, romantic vision of South Georgia football.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We got a school of 476 kids. And I, heck, coach, when I graduated in 1992, we had 2,400 kids. I went to Mars Hill College and thought that was small. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Um, and it just, but I did. I always had this romantic vision, and now I get to live it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been there a month. I think I know about 80% of the kids' names in the school. Number one, that's
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 awesome.
exceptional, and
Yeah.
that not football kids, just regular kids. We got girls walking through the halls. Hey, coach. Hey, Nana. I know her name, and I think that's awesome. I love it. Now, there's some challenges to that because I've never had to play both ways.
Right.
Never had to play kids both ways.
Just how you
So I've
practice.
I've
I know
been
your practice is
yeah,
different.
my practice plans are going to be totally different. I've been calling I don't know. I'll throw you some names out here. Robbie Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie Robinson was one of my high school coaches, and I've leaned on him hard, coach. How do I practice? Brantley Smith at Washington Wilkes and Buck Robinson at Metter and those guys. And I've been calling them like, hey man, how do y'all practice? Like, how do you do this? I don't know how to do this because I don't believe in practicing a long time either. You know what I mean? So it's all those things that are like mechanically change everything. Like I got my Google Drive and I got my practice plans from the last 12 years. Well, guess what? I can take that and throw it in the Google trash can because it's not going to work.
Yep.
And so it's totally different. But then the flip side of it is, coach, I got 476 kids in a school that's 90% living below the poverty level because we got 8 skyboxes in our stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And we got lights that flicker on and off when you score. And I'm coming from Dunwoody High School that's got it's the highest rent district in the state of Georgia. And we ain't got a bathroom. We're using porta potties. That's one of the things that I said in my interview. And that, you know what, coach, I think that maybe the best thing I can say for anybody out there right now. And listen, man, I'll use a line from Chris Lamb. I'm a nobody from nowhere that ain't never done nothing. But I'll say this. I took this interview process as a different deal, and I didn't go interview to try to get a job. I interviewed to see if I wanted to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them that day because they kept telling me, we got nothing, coach. We got nothing. We got zero. We got nothing. I'm like, guys, y'all got to stop talking like this. We got to start talking about what we got versus what we don't have. And y'all got a lot. You ain't coming from the cab. Y'all got a lot.
No, that's right.
So you get down here in a situation like this where football is actually important. And it's pretty cool to me, man. It is. It's really cool to me. Coach, I cannot wait till the middle of August when that stadium is filled up, whether we win, lose, draw, whatever it is. I just can't wait. I cannot wait, man. I'm so excited about it. It blows me up just thinking about it tonight. And I'm sitting down here tonight. I'm middle of Auburn, Alabama. My wife's still up there in the cab because she's got to finish her contract. And I'm in my little 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment right now, just trying to figure out where we're going to live. And I'm just like, man, I cannot wait till this thing kicks off.
Coach, man, I can't either. You got me excited. Hey, listen, I appreciate you taking some time to talk to me. I always enjoy talking to you, but I'm looking forward to next time we talk like this because we're going to talk when you get that thing going. I'm telling you. And when you have
Coach, we're gonna get it going.
When you get it going.
We got good kids.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man.
End of the day, that's all that really matters. We got good kids.
If I can ever help you out, man, I really do mean this. You let me know.
Coach, you help all of us out every single day.
Yeah.
So
I
I really
appreciate you, man.
appreciate you, and I appreciate Parker Resources.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Coach. Take
All
care.
right. Thank you.
See you.